Alright, sorry about that, folks. I guess I don't really have to. Well, I used the Zoom, but I'm not going to do that right now. Kind of want to do this real quickly. But I want to give my 2 cents on something that happened over the weekend that a lot of people have been talking about as far as MMA and wrestling goes, and that is the fact that CM Punk, Phil Brooks, has signed a multi-fight deal contract agreement, I should say, with Dana White and the UFC to start competing and fighting for them next year. Now, a lot of people are already talking about who his opponent could be. What he's gonna bring to the table for UFC, and I have to say that I'm kind of not really surprised by this. I mean, CM Punk has talked about entering the world of MMA since he's been wrestling. He's talked about, oh, I want to be in the MMA. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's good and everything. That's nice to know that he wants to do that. And now he's getting this chance to do it. But I also look at it like this. I think Schleg Daddy said it best. I think in a sense it's Dana White's way of saying, it's Dana White's own kind of way of not, admitting in the sense that he needs the WWE. Because if you've noticed, Dana White has kind of reached out to a lot of former wrestlers. Doesn't matter if they're WWE, TNA. He and the people that run Bellator, they've been reaching out to these former wrestlers to bring them in because they know they got that star power that will bring in that wrestling audience into and make them a part of the MMA audience. You see, they realize that, hey, if we have, like Bellator, they're trying to get Alberto Del Rio. They realize, hey, if we can get this guy who used to be an MMA guy back into the world of MMA, and he's got this following, and hey, look, he just won the AAA World Championship. Hey, the sky's the limit, right? The sky's the limit. So you take a look at that. He could bring a lot of eyes to the product, especially if he's going to be working for Ring of Honor. He could bring a lot of eyes to the product for Ring of Honor if he goes to Bellator. CM Punk, same thing. Because he used to be he's a Ring of Honor alumnus. He used to work for the company. He used to wrestle for the company. He was one of their top champions, one of their faces. When you take a look at the resume and you see, oh, he was part of WWE, yes, we know. Oh, wait a minute, he was part of Ring of Honor? And you don't know what Ring of Honor is, you might want to check it out because, hey, this Phil Brooks, the CM Punk guy, used to be part of it. Okay, let's check it out. And it's that kind of publicity that when you go and check out another promotion, or at least another product, and you say, hey, this looks pretty good, but hey, you guys that are Ring of Honor fans, or you guys that are WWE fans, come on over. As good as your stuff is, you ain't seen nothing yet until you see the UFC or until you've seen Bellator. You see, that's basically what this whole thing is with Dana White and the people that run these, Dana White who owns the UFC and the people that run Bellator. It's basically the fact that they're trying to get these names into the companies because they know it'll slowly dwindle away that wrestling audience to the point that MMA is the only thing you're going to be interested in. And, as far as CM Punk joining the MMA world and the UFC world, I have to congratulate him on it. I'm happy he's finally getting to do what he wants to do. Something that he's talked about doing, and now he's getting a chance to do it. But I also look at it from two sides. I look at it like, okay, he's living his dream, but he's also doing it for another reason. There's got to be more to it. You could say, oh, I'm done with this. I'm never going to go back to that. Yeah. As they say in wrestling, never say never, because guess what? We have seen the impossible happen. We have seen the impossible happen. We have seen people that have said, I'm never going to go back to wrestling. I'm never going to go back to TNA. I'm never going to go back to WWE. Guess what? They've gone back. That's right, they've gone back. And they've made amends. Which is why a lot of people are saying that about CM Punk right now. The fact that he's going to make amends with the WWE. End of story. But I think that's, from one side of things, I think that's what CM Punk's expecting. He's hoping that once his multi-fight deal is over, either he'll get to re-sign another one, which would be fine if he wants to continue doing this, or it's going to give him that leverage. It's going to give him that leverage that if the WWE sees the eyeballs and the audience that go from the product to the UFC because of CM Punk to see him fight, and then once it's all said and done, he comes back and his multi-fight contract is up. Don't think for a second WWE is not going to go for him. Don't think for a second that even if Vince McMahon's running things or not, that he, maybe even Triple H, maybe even Stephanie, will put the differences aside and say, we need this guy back. He's bringing a lot of money. He's bringing a lot of eyeballs. He's taking our audience. We need him back. Don't think that neither one of those three will do whatever it takes to get him back on their roster after his multi-fight deal is done. They will do whatever it takes to make sure he doesn't resign for more fighting. They're going to do whatever it takes to bring him back, and I guarantee you that's what Punk is hoping for. Because like I said, there's two sides of it. Yes, he's living his dream. He's getting to finally compete in the MMA world, in the UFC world, and that's great. He's going to bring a lot of eyeballs, a lot of fans from the wrestling world to the MMA world that Brock had done, just like Brock had done before. Just like Brock had done before, and that's what he's going to do here. And CM Punk, but again, on the other side of things, CM Punk realizes he's got that leverage. He's going to have that leverage if WWE tries to reach out for him after his multi-fight deal is done. And again, it's not going to matter if it's Vince McMahon. It's not going to matter if it's Triple H or Stephanie. You know, any one of them is going to reach out. They're going to contact him, ask him to come back, say, we'll give you whatever you want. It's going to be in the contract. You can have whatever you want. And there you go. You see, like I said, it's two sides of things. One, he's living his dream. I'm happy for that. All fans, all CM Punk fans are happy about that. But on the other hand, as much as I'm a fan of CM Punk, and he is what he is, the best in the world, it's also part of getting that leverage. I know from a personal opinion, I know from a personal opinion of mine as a fan, that's what CM Punk's hoping for. He's hoping to get that leverage so that when his multi-fight deal is over and WWE tries to nab for him, they're going to give him what he wants. They're going to give him what he wants, if not more than what they've given Brock. They're going to give him what he wants. They're going to give him, the sponsorships on the trunks. They're going to let him say what he wants to say without the consequences. They're going to give him the schedule he wants. Blah, 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 blah. And that's the change CM Punk is wanting. And you know what? If this taking this route into the MMA world to kind of reignite that passion he has for fighting and wrestling is the way of doing it possibly. And again, this is just my opinion because I'm thinking this might be one of the reasons he's doing this. Because like I said, on the other hand, he could be just doing it because he wants to live his dream, and that's great. But I believe on the other hand, he's doing it because he knows WWE is going to come after him after the multi-fight deal is over. And I guarantee you, that's what's going to happen. And that's what he's probably hoping for. But overall, I'm happy for CM Punk. I'm glad he's in the MMA world. He's in the UFC now. He's getting to live his dream. But again, like I said, there's two sides of it. There's two sides of it. One, he's finally living his dream. And on the other hand, I think he knows what he's doing, and he's hoping WWE tries to go for him again because it's going to give him that leverage, that advantage that he's been wanting. But that's my take on it. I wish him all the luck in the world, Phil Brooks, CM Punk. I hope you become champion. And you know what? In closing, I'm betting that leverage is... I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC even puts a heavyweight belt on him. They may say, people may say he's more of a middleweight guy, a welterweight guy, a junior heavyweight guy, a light heavyweight guy. I won't be surprised if he gets one of those belts, mostly light heavyweight, maybe even middleweight. I won't be surprised if they put the heavyweight belt on him to really give him that leverage he wants. That's all I'm going to say. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll talk to you later. But again, Phil Brooks, CM Punk, I wish you all the best of luck.